didn't think that. No, I've been pronouncing it wrong forever, and then last week someone pronounced it the other way, and I thought maybe I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. So Petyo, Jordan Petyo.
Yep.
And then the much easier to pronounce Sam Hanna.
Hello.
Only has 3 syllables in his name, and all of them are Germanic. So
That's all I need.
we appreciate you guys watching us now. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, you have no idea what we're talking about, so let's just assume round 1 went glorious. So let's talk about our round 2 feature match pairing for you tonight. First, let's do a brief reset on the tournament itself as we see rock, paper, scissors to start the game. Someone won with some kind of card, I don't know. If you want to win your own playset of those awesome cards, just stay tuned as we will give information on that. Our weekly promotional giveaway at the end of the first game here in round 2. 28 players fired up tonight for this event. Down a little bit, but we are still coming off the holidays. And I have not been promoting nearly as much as I have in the past. But still a good turnout, like I've said in weeks past. If 28 is the new low that we have, or a new standard, I'm very content with that. We have lost a few people, but I think we're still going to be playing 5 rounds of Swiss, followed by a cut to top 8. This is round 2. On your left, Stream Regular, Brandon Hart, playing Golgari Aggro. This is the Brian Kibler deck that he posted on Star City Games about 2 weeks ago. Fight Bears, Uvenwall Tracker, that is, Dreg Manglers, the oft-forgotten Predator Ooze, and basically, and Rancors, and basically just all kinds of cards that beat you down. Lotless Troll, a very aggressive deck with a lot of value involved in it. He's playing against Drew Scherr, who's playing a Grixis control list. Last week, Drew's deck list was the most requested deck of all of the people that featured, and also the least available deck list, because Drew just, as I told people last week, Drew put this deck together out of he and Troy King's trade binder, or not trade binder, but build binder, like literally minutes before the event started. So he said he'll be able to get me a list this week, so I'll have that up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. We do a recap post every week to discuss everything we talked about on the stream. This, of course, includes all the deck lists I have available. Did you gentlemen see that I'm now posting those on Deckbox?
I did.
That's just fun for me, because then I no longer have to, if someone plays on camera twice, I can just copy and paste. It's actually very important, because typing out deck lists is kind of a bear. So
I guess Drew's mulligan.
Yeah, Drew's mulliganing to 5, it looks like. It looks like the stream is still a little bit choppy. If that, in fact, is the case for you, I apologize for that. We have had some connectivity problems earlier in the night on our end, which we appear to have sorted out, but we're also getting some comments from people in the chat that Twitch itself has been acting up today. So it looks like there's several factors at play there. So, turn 1 Mana Dork off of Beta Forest. And now the inevitable pause and commentary as I send out a tweet. Turn 2 Lotless Troll with a Rancor on it. And I think once from Drew. I feel like everyone in this room just got really sleepy really quickly. Can you confirm that?
Negative.
You look like you've lost a little bit of steam.
My back hurts.
Your back hurts?
Which by extension makes me sleepy. Because I'm an old man now.
You're an old man. There's a variety of throw your back out jokes I could make at this point, but I think most of them involve my mother, so I'm not going to do any of them. Someone texted me.
Probably Garrett Meadows.
What's going on here? Attack with a Rancored Lotless Troll. Seems good. Play another Lotless Troll. Seems good as well. Drew down to 16. He does not have the swamp he needs for those Dragon Skull summits to come into play untapped.
Still waiting for the Watery Graves.
Yeah, Watery Grave is a much sought after much sought after duel. Before they reprinted them, the Hallowed Fountain and the Guild Gate were the biggest ones. So Devil's Play, probably on the one that has the Rancor on it. Brandon only has one black source, which he used to play the second lot with Troll, so he can regenerate. So that will work.
Hooray.
Still up against it slightly.
And Rancor did get back to hand, so...
That's 2 less damage.
Indeed.
And I mean, it's 1 less difficult to deal with creature.
Of course, if he had that new card from Gatecrash, he could turn it into a frog. I don't know if I have that one, so I don't know if we can talk about that one later. I don't know if I have that graphic.
We must find it. We must talk about it. It's the best card ever.
There is a Pongify effect that's back in Magic.
Oh, wow.
It's really cool, though. Like, I can't wait to see the token. It's a frog lizard.
Yeah, it does look like there will be frog tokens now in Magic. We'll talk more in depth about that after the round. We'll talk about some spoilers. So Drew doesn't do anything again. Misses a land drop, nothing proactive. Of course, he is the Grixis deck, so he is going to be reacting more than he's going to be acting, but still in a pickle here. A tricky pickle is what the kids would say. Strangleroot Geist, in all of its game day full art glory. Pump Fake from Drew. It's intimidation tactics.
Maybe he's just going to flashback and think twice for the turn. Or not.
That comes into play. Taps, which I think he just realized, right?
Yeah. And he's up against it. He mulliganed. He's going to deal with all
He
this.
mulliganed to 5. None of his lands have come. He has one land that's come into play untapped. Snapcaster. Flashing back that, which doesn't do anything. It just makes the... Yeah, I think he forgot about the regenerate.
Yep.
Which is just kind of insult to injury at this point. Because I think he was...
So the Strangleroot Geist makes it bigger.
That's... Yeah.
And I think that's... Yeah. Not the game of Magic that Drew wanted to play, but sometimes that's what happens. This Golgari deck is pretty brutal. If you're trying to 1-for-1 the Golgari deck, like, it's just not going to work. Because it's just, between Rancors, a lot of the Trolls are all regenerate. The Strangleroot Geist are 2-for-1. The Predator Ooze is almost impossible to deal with in terms of damage or removing combat. So,
I mean, I guess the thing you could do is, I mean, I'm assuming he's playing Nicol less. But Tributes. Tributes are a great way to deal with it.
Yeah, but the problem is they're also playing... Tribute's not very good because he's playing Mana Dorks, Ulvenwall Trackers, and the Strangleroots. So if he was just playing the Regenerate guys, it'd be pretty good. But so we'll go to the sideboard, figure out if Drew has any answers. If someone could confirm in the chat for me if anything about the stream is working better, that would make me feel a little bit better. It seems like things are slightly better than it used to be, but still looks like there is some issues with the stream itself. I apologize for that. It is what it is. I will not apologize for the following. If you want to win your own play set of rock, paper, scissors cards, the same cards that we use to start every one of our feature matches, except for those matches where the guys decide to do something else, then all you have to do is go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Look for the giveaway post, which I will make right now as we speak. All you have to do is comment on that post. Make sure you're make sure you like the page. That's also very crucial. And we'll enter you for a chance to win next week's drawing. We'll be drawing this week's again this week. Man, I'm just really off my game today, Sam. I don't know. I've got too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
You've been dealing with some curveballs.
Can't.
Getting in the groove of it.
But you can win these free Magic cards. They're fun. Are they worth a lot? No. Are they awesome to have? Absolutely. So look on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Here shortly, I will have that up and posted. Like the page, comment on the posts, and you'll be entered for a chance to win next week's drawing.
But Zach, couldn't you cheat and also pick make sure your opponent picks the ones that you How am I saying English?
Well, I think I see what you're trying to do, though I will say that you are failing miserably at what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're saying, but Zach, I can't use these. My opponent will think that I'm cheating because the cards are marked.
Indeed.
Well, that is it's very easily remediated. You just let your opponent pick both cards. Pick for you and pick for them. That way there's no shenanigans possible. Obviously, if your opponent doesn't want to use them, so be it, but they're fun to own. Are they worth a ton of money? No. Are they worth a ton of pride? Absolutely. You would be surprised how many people get very militant about winning this thing.
So really, there is no downside. You should want these things.
They're fun.
Of course.
So, as I type this, and as I struggle ever so desperately to emerge from this gaping black hole that is the round one debacle, the post is now up on Facebook. So head over there, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Look for your chance to win. A little bit later we'll be drawing for this week's giveaway. Who knows, I might also dig into our little bag of goodies and see if I can find... I think I got some other prize support hanging around from weeks past to give out. You know what I'm going to give out next week too?
What?
So obviously next week we'll be giving out the rock paper scissors cards as a primary, but also next week, play sets. You can do a play set, yeah. Play set of Deadbridge Goliath.
Ooh.
I got a promo playset of those. Brandon is playing Deadbridge Goliath in his deck, so seems like a good thing to give away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put up a post about that a little bit later, but it's the least we can do to try and give away some Magic cards, generate some interest in our page, and generally spread the love. There is daily content on that Facebook page. This week has been a lot of highlight videos, a lot of spoiler discussion from new Gatecrash cards, information on the upcoming Star City Games Open Series in Columbus tomorrow, and then some other bits and pieces. So if you enjoy Magic content like I do, you can consume some of it there. What's going on in the chat as we wait for these gentlemen to shuffle? And still having problems with the Twitch stream. I literally have no idea what's going wrong because everything on my end looks good. It's just not meant to be. Some weeks it's just not meant to be, I guess. What can you do?
You get some good ones, get some bad ones, but right now it looks like Brandon and Drew are resolving mulligans.
Jordan, you missed a lot. You stepped out. You missed a lot.
Did Drew win?
I don't know what happened, but I got even more disappointed with the quality of our stream. And then then I told people about how they can win rock paper scissors cards. I decided next week I'm also giving out a playset of Deadbridge Goliath, and then Brandon played an Arbor Elf.
That was a lot of events. I have friends that have just come in.
A lot less troll. You're
He
handsome
called
guys.
it. He called it.
It's
Rancor!
the exact same thing that happened last
Now
time.
here's blowout time. Took a lot of control. It's not really a blowout, but it's still effectively like you could have regen, but you didn't.
You want to kill a lot with troll now.
Yep. There's the drug board.
Are any of the normally played removal spells in Standard right now, do they have the cannot regenerate clause?
Nope.
The only one I've seen that's actually standard legal currently is actually public execution.
Yeah, and that's not standard play.
And it's not standard play
Because it costs
at all.
$1 billion.
But you know what's gonna come out? I can't actually remember the name of the card, but it's Plongify 2.0.
Oh.
But can't regenerate that.
Evolve something hybrid evolution or something like that. Is that what it's
It's
called?
like rapid hybridization or something like that.
I like how you're like, I can't remember it, but I think it's called rapid hybridization.
Well, I mean,
The most specific...
if you're gonna like take a shot in the dark, make it a really like wonky, crazy shot in the dark. Just like
And
when you
then I'm to blame. I get blown.
I do feel somewhat happy that I can get 80 dedicated viewers to watch Brandon Hart think long and hard about this duress through basically stop motion animation on our stream because of crappy Twitch. I think something's wrong with their server. I had problems logging into their server earlier tonight, so
Duress.
yes. So that was a huge dreadbore. It looked like Brandon kept his hand on the back of that Lotless troll with the Rancor. And,
Just the thing, like
what is he doing? Like, did he pass? Oh, that's why. Yeah, I mean, there had to be some reason why he passed with that 3-man open and didn't attack with Arbor Elf. I forgot that Wolfear Avenger was in the card. So it's another Regenerator. It's a 3/3 with Regenerate. Is it Regenerate for 1 or for 2? So 1 and a green?
Yeah.
Oh, the life total is way wrong. Gosh, I'm just abysmal. They should fire me from this.
Revoke your existence.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been thinking it. I'm glad you said it.
Oh,
And see how much better Drew's mana base is now that he has the one, the Blood Crypt or the Steam Vents.
indeed.
Last game, all of his lands were, Scars, M13 or Innistrad dual lands. They all came into play tapped. And while I'm not sure he could have dug out of that situation as it was, he certainly wasn't going to be able to do it with the minimal amount of
Architect of Thought.
Jace, Mini Factor Fiction. It's the worst.
Oh, God. That's brutal.
You just take whatever has 2. That's the correct split. You just take the other 2. And so he's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here and drop him down to 9, assuming there's no shenanigans. Both these
Would you not just +1 the Jace so you mitigate both the L's?
I would +1 the Jace.
I would. Yeah, I think I would have too.
I would have. But you got to be in it to win it. And since we are in the broom closet, we don't unfortunately have...
Technically, we're in nothingness because that's...
Both of these players are 1-1. Silklash Spider.
Honestly thought it was a Silent Arbiter from the way it looked.
Silent Arbiter would be a disqualification, as it was a card printed in, was it Darksteel?
I think so.
That was ages ago. That was back when you were only, 3 or 4 years old?
I was in 3rd grade, so seems about right.
Because then there's the cliched Asian joke where you're smart enough.
Accelerated,
Rapid.
So we're tapping out for something. This is for an Olivia, right?
Did you just kill with the Silklash Spider?
Yeah, Olivia's no good here.
Oh!
Ooh, regenerate your exiled creature, sir.
Yeah. So what's the base
Might
on
be a
the
little bit
Silverlash
too late,
Spider?
She's a 2/7. Because I think all spiders have to have like a 5 or bigger butt, or 4 bigger butt, something like that.
Well, according to my card search, it doesn't exist, so I won't even bother looking. He took out the Fight Bear. I don't really know why. He's just going to kill Jace and dig for more action. I'm not sure I would have played this game the way that it's being played, but to be perfectly fair, like we said, Drew is this is like I think the 5th game Drew's ever played with this deck, or 5th round, I should say.
If there's another Rancor, I think he might be dead on board.
Well, he's got 8 power showing.
What kind of like exemplifies like playtesting, sort of like that's.
Well, it is FNM in West Virginia, so some would say that it literally doesn't matter, and those some people would be absolutely correct.
And
so, is there any outs in Drew's deck? Bonfire?
maybe.
Drew applies the draw my cards, then untap all my lands approach.
I do that concept.
He does have a Young Park Full Art Zendikar Mountain, so I approve of that.
I'm glad he didn't pay 2.
He chose
for that
not to
one
pay
card.
the 2 life,
Yeah.
which is a pro play.
That seemed like a good decision.
Well, we're going to do something here. 3 mana for something.
In this. You just literally have JP go, I'll buy
And that's the universal symbol of I can't do anything, so... Looks like Brandon Hart and his Golgari Aggro deck, courtesy of Brian Kibler, is the winner.
Inner scoop phase.
Entering scoop phase. Well, we've got 25 minutes left to go. Do you want to go try and find another match, Jordan?
Sure. Know of any fun ones?
Well, let's see. We've got anybody in the front. All of these things look pretty good. Cliff said he would rather not play on camera this week. I can't blame him. He's played on camera more than anybody else. I think he's trying to... I think that might be a Burnt the Stake deck. They're probably done already, I imagine. Just see who's available. See if you can work your magic. Well, while Jordan goes out there and tries to find us yet another feature match, I'll remind you once again, the post on Facebook is up. So if you want to win your own playset of rock, paper, scissors cards, the most sought-after unglued cards in the entire West Virginia Magic playing community.
That is a very bold statement.
Then you simply have to go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Look for the post I just made. Make sure you like the page and comment on the post, and you'll be entered for a chance to win next week's drawing. Also, remember, next week on the same drawing, we'll be giving out a playset of Deadbridge Goliath. I probably should have put something about that in the post, but since I didn't think about that until just now.
Oh, it's next week.
It is the way it is, but all of those will be drawn from the same entry. So just make sure you comment on the giveaway post. That will get you an entry. As long as you're liking the page, you can win. The reason we ask you to do that, it helps us spread the word, so share that with your friends. Share that anywhere where you can. If you like it, your friends see it, they might be interested in coming and checking us out. So little word of mouth is all we ask for, and in return we'll give you these sweet, sweet magic cards. Jordan's still looking for a match out there, so while these guys de-sideboard, let me tell you some other ways that you can help out the stream by getting in touch with us. If you go to youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic, Jordan.
Everyone's like in the middle of decisions. There are a lot of possible game threes, so I have tentative games.
All right.
It's like right in the...
That's fine. It happens all the time. I appreciate it. So, if you go to youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic, everything we have ever recorded, literally everything, is on our YouTube channel. That includes not just the 21 weeks of FNM action, but as well as the West Virginia State Magic Tournament, a cube draft, which was kind of crappy, I'll admit. That was more a proof of concept thing than anything else, as well as some casual drafts and some things like that. So check that out. If you have any comments or feedbacks, feel free to leave those in the comments there, and subscribe. Follow me at ZachSellsMagic on Twitter. Various frivolity throughout the week. Updates about the stream on game day, as well as information about giveaways and other interesting Magic stuff. Most importantly, go to facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Are you seeing a trend developing regarding my usernameage? Facebook.com, I treat it like my own personal website. In fact, if you go to ZachSellsMagic.com, it will redirect you there. Daily Magic content. Can you guys confirm that there's
Magic content.
It's basically just an aggregator. I basically just put interesting things from around the web on there, but it is a good place to check out every...
It's the actual Daily MTG of Facebook, because Daily MTG doesn't update daily on there.
Yeah.
Or if they do, it's extremely slow.
If we call Daily
So-
MTG the mothership, Zach Sells Magic Productions is like the fathership.
Well,
Oh.
literally no one has ever said that other than you, but I appreciate the kind words. But all joking aside, that is the best way to get in touch with us, and that is the best way to help spread the word. So like our page, share it with your friends, convince them by hook or by crook to come check out the stream.
Over 300 likes. You're not
We
alone.
did pass 300 likes this week, so I'm very proud about that. And finally, twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic. If you're watching right now, you obviously know where the stream is. But if you can click on the follow button, which is above and to the left of the video window, they will send you an email notification anytime our stream goes live. And obviously, if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, come check us out sometime. If you have a chance, if you can't make your FNM, come watch ours. So we're still waiting out there
Yeah, I'll go check.
for potential game 2. We can talk about spoilers, but I'm not sure people want to watch us talk about 20 minutes of spoilers.
Oh, there's 20 minutes.
One more thing, I'll remind everyone, don't forget tomorrow, literally tomorrow, in less than Zach, are you going? Did I hear you say you're going?
That is the new plan, yes.
Okay, you're going with us?
That's what I need to discuss that with you, I assume, when you have a free moment.
Offer still stands.
Yes.
So in less than, well, no, not less than, but in just over 12 hours, a massive contingent of Lost Legion faithful will be in Columbus, Ohio at the Star City Games Open Series Columbus event. Standard tomorrow, Legacy on Sunday, various side events. Still.
One game that's going on, you don't want to unlock.
So we're just spoilering it, right? No more rounds. No more.
Commander Deck Tech with all the computer.
We're not going to do that. But like I said, we're all going up
But it's
to
harvest time.
Star City Games in Columbus. So if you're going to be in the area, if you're going to be at the event, please let us know. Send me something on Facebook or on Twitter. We'd love to meet up with you, get some comments, feedback about the stream, jam some games, stuff like that. There's at least one person I know who lives in Columbus. He's going to be there. It'd be fun to meet people. And I've told people, the first person who runs into me there from the stream, I might just have a pocket full of rock, paper, scissors for them. So
That also sounds like a way to get to know your man.
Tell them that you don't have to
is there a discussion in the chat?
I think it's asking if people who are new to Magic ever go to Star City events.
Is he talking about do new players ever come to Star City, or do they come to Lost Legion Games and Comics?
Well, my telepathy powers are not working as well as they usually do, so I can't tell you exactly what he was talking about. I thought you might be able to reassure them that, or tell them to stay away, whichever.
I don't know what the actual question is. If the question is, do new players go to Star City events, the answer is I can't recommend a new player going to play in the main event there necessarily, unless you're just looking for the experience, as it is somewhat cost prohibitive. It is $40 to play in the main event, and it is very competitive, so it's not like your kitchen table, it's not like your local FNM. That being said, there are a ton of side events. There's SCG will be there, obviously vending, so you can buy cool stuff from them, or sell some cards. There's trades, there's all kinds of stuff. Plus, it's Columbus, and Columbus has about 1 billion good places to eat. I'm very excited about getting pierogies. So,
Well, is it where they had the Grand Prix in Columbus last
Yes.
time? So it's right across the
I was
street from
there.
Market?
I was there. North Market is 2 blocks away. One of the best places in the world to eat. You can get cayenne flavored chocolate ice cream. I'm very excited about that as well. Are you guys excited about talking about some spoilers?
That's why I...
Okay, so for this,
Zach Villiano
we've got like
with
15 minutes
us.
left, over 15 minutes left in the round. Jordan's gone out there. There's no way we're getting another round. So it is what it is. So let's talk about some new Gatecrash cards. If you haven't been following the new spoilers, this is a second week of spoilers, official spoilers for Gatecrash. A good place, guys, if I'm looking for information on spoilers, where's a good place to go and check that out? Maybe our Facebook page, because we link to them every day.
Well, I was going to say
Usually right at midnight, too.
Yeah, because I'm in a weird sleep schedule. I was sick all of Christmas break, and then I have I can't go to sleep. It's been awful. First world problems, I know, right? But Zach,
you did not have first world problems before Christmas, that's for sure.
Zach, we won't talk about that.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes, so this is
the answer is yes.
whatever that question you were going to ask.
This is a card. So if you guys are familiar, I don't have 4 people technology on my
That's
my
all right.
whatever. But Zach Villianco here. If you watched last week I think we had is the most fun we've ever had on a broadcast of the stream. Were you able to watch any of it or no?
I'm going to go back and watch it now that you said
So there was epic experimenting going on. There was burning at the stake. There was door to nothingness. There was Stormtide Leviathan made an appearance. I can't talk at all. So Zach likes to play fun decks, and this is a card that I'm no doubt you will try to break.
Oh, absolutely.
And you will fail miserably, but you will have fun trying. Because this card, I'm like, Door to Nothingness is fun, Omniscience is fun, Primal Surge is fun, but all of them can theoretically win.
Yes.
This is like a 19-piece combo that dies to like one
Cackling
searing
counterpart, Seance populate combo shenanigans happening.
Well,
All
don't
right.
we have Enter the Infinite, Omniscience? You get all 4 out
But
of
you
your deck.
don't. That's not
Yeah,
how you
Enter
win an
the-
Enter Infinite deck.
Enter the Infinite. No,
already over.
What is the one card where everything becomes a copy? Isn't there one like
Infinite Reflection.
Reflection.
Bam.
Yeah, but that thing costs 6, so that's very.
Oh yes, and 6
Very
mana has
narrow.
become a huge deal these days.
Well, it's very narrow.
You have your 5-mana counter
Good,
spell.
good luck.
before
Good
that.
luck to Zach. Good luck to all of you who try to break this card. All joking aside, in Commander, there's a lot more things. Discard plus Mirror Weave plus Infinite Reflection plus a variety of clone effects.
I was just about to sound really
Nice.
dumb and say, Commander, it's a one-of format. How are you going to play 4 Bio-Visionaries in there? But you quickly avoided that.
Some would say you thought that because you are a stupid head, but
I believe it's a technical
oh,
thing.
and of course, as Forgive Hexar points out in the chat, the most important of all these clone effects, Rite of
Right.
Replication,
Absolutely.
because every blue deck should be playing Rite of Replication to start with, because number 1, it kills generals. Number 2, if you cast it
Wait,
first kicker.
number 1 is because it's awesome.
Number 1 is because it's
I guess you just sort of assumed that. Was
if you like, the only thing better than a Blight Steel is 6 Blight Steals. The fact that you can target other people's crap is
The
good
only
too.
problem is whenever they
I just like to break Magic Online when I play my Precursor Golem deck and Rite of Replication to crash the server. That's my always go plan.
Well, it's little pleasures. So, have we thoroughly discussed Bio-Visionary?
It's the greatest card of all time and is going to
It wins on the
destroy
flavor
standard.
text. Like the flavor text of that card is phenomenal.
I just deleted it. What does it say?
It's just talking about like the only reason he clones them is because he can't talk to anyone else. Like basically.
Oh, so it's an emo card. Simic is the emo
This
build.
card
Let's
is
talk
also
about a
really
card that's
good.
actually good.
Yeah, that card is
So
really good.
this was spoiled exactly yesterday, or at midnight. Well, I mean, it's
actually
it's the
not
most recent spoiler that we
not
have
exactly
on here.
yes.
Cryptghast. It's a 2/2 creature for 3 and a black. It has Extort, which is the new Orzhov mechanic. And it says whenever you tap a swamp for mana, add black to your mana pool. So basically, it's a one-sided mana flare effect. And I talked about this on the discussion on our Facebook page already. But basically, any of these one-sided mana flare abilities is super playable. Mirari's Wake was broken, saw standard play when it was in print. Mana Reflection is a $10 card because of every green deck in EDH wants it. Cage Sun is great, Extra Planar Lens. All of these cards do the same thing, and they're all staples in the formats where they're viable.
Nirkana Revenant is extremely
Nirkana Revenant is too. JB is store manager. He plays a mono black EDH deck. He has Nirkana Revenant in it. All of these things do a Gauntlet of Power. All these kind of things. This guy only costs 4, and it's very strong to me.
It works with your shock lands too, which is another really big bonus.
Yes,
You can
yeah.
tap your shock lands for white, green, whatever, and still get black mana off.
What also helps the extort.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Like the fact it doubles your mana, which is cool in and of itself,
Yes.
and will be abused in Commander for that, and abused in a lot of things for that. But the fact that he has Extort, which for those of you unfamiliar with the Extort mechanic, basically anytime you play a spell, if you have a permanent with Extort in play, you can pay the Extort cost, which is either a white or black mana, and it has a Blood Artist trigger, so they lose a life and you gain a life. But since you're tapping all your swamps for double mana, it builds in Extort to all of your mana activations.
Which, on top of that, just in case anyone's curious, you can use these in mono black commander.
Yeah,
I think is what they've.
I talked about that because Michael Taylor, who's been on the stream before too, he was wondering about that because he has a mono black EDH deck that he thought this was immediately going in, and then he realized he couldn't because it has a white mana symbol. But there's been a EDH or Commander ruling that says that rules text mana symbols don't count.
Yeah.
So
Reminder text.
Reminder, yeah, exactly right. Rules text obviously does count because that's the bulk of the text, but in the reminder text it does not count. So you can play this in your mono black EDH deck, and you would want to play this. If you don't play this in your mono black EDH deck, you are doing something horribly wrong. Because this guy's very good. Now the question I have for you guys is, do you see this card making its way into standard? And obviously, if someone can monitor the chat, I figured.
I certainly think it's going to see play.
This card seems very good to me.
Makes 105 Grizzlebrand that thing.
Yes.
Like very easily. Just
Well, I mean,
it's
it's going to see play.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why this card wouldn't see play. I'm very curious to see if there is like a
Extort deck.
Yes, if there's because Blood Artist is a very legitimate card.
Yeah. Now the question is, if there's an Extort deck, is it going to be aggro or is it going to be grind
I
them
don't
out
know.
control?
I've had the same kind of question. I think there's like a white black tokens Extort kind of thing.
But it seems like it might be able to go both ways. You might be able to just use this guy as another sort of Blood Artist type thing at the top of your aggro curve, or sit behind him in some defensive spells and then just slowly kill him. So it's a neat mechanic, and most mechanics aren't like that. Most mechanics you can't see play in everything, and this seems like it can. So
Don't mean to cut you off, but there's a quick question in the chat from Deep Tune. Signed up for the giveaway, can't watch next week. How will he know if he wins? Well, I will get in touch with you. If you signed up on, if you contact me on Facebook, then I know how to get in touch with you. So I will draw, and I will make sure that you get your goodies should you win, which we should probably draw here in a second. This week we had, I think, 55 people. But anyway, I think this card's very good. I'm going to wait until the pro players decide how good it is to see, because I don't know. I have ideas and things like turn 5 Gristlebrand sounds awesome, but I don't know if that's like legitimate. It does die to every removal spell in the format. It does cost 4 mana.
Ultimate price. Oh, it does die.
It does die to every removal spell in the format.
I stand corrected.
If it hits the board though, and it's in your main phase, and you play this guy, then you're able to pump out another Planeswalker. I wouldn't say it's a 2-for-1, but you just got use out of being able to play things on your turn.
It's one of those spells that's, it's like Gilded Lotus. Like you tap 5 mana for your Gilded Lotus, but you can then tap for a 3-drop. That's definitely something. So this is not a bad talk deck in the late game, because you can play this virtually for free. You know, if you have 4 untapped lands plus this, you're playing it for free basically. So interesting. It should. This card I think is. Some of them are clearly not good enough for standard. This card is definitely.
Biovisionary not being one of those cards.
Biovisionary is the worst thing ever. It was not the worst thing ever. Check this bad boy out.
That's an ass shell.
She's coming.
It's foil. It's going in my cube. Thanks to Brandon Hart for hooking me up with that earlier. So let's take a brief break here. Let's give away some Magic cards. So
I caught it. I appreciate it.
Did Jordan make it?
I agree. Archmage 521. Ghast is going to be very good, or as you said, insane.
Well, she hunts necromancers, so she should have been killing the Crypt Ghast, really.
Okay, so did my spreadsheet come up?
While you do this, I'm going to go do a trade.
Alright, go get your trade on. We'll give away Magic cards, then we'll talk about more spoilers.
Get good value, Jordan.
I'll try.
Don't rip anybody off. We don't support that.
Black Lotuses.
We don't support ripping people off on the stream. We are an equal opportunity provider. So, we have the list up. Of course, last week, Zach Villianco was in fact our winner of the giveaway, and I felt so bad because you were in the room. I had to post pictures to prove that it was actually...
Bribery remains a thing in West Virginia.
And as we discussed last week, it's the least effective thing to ever bribe someone to win, because you could just buy them yourself for less than the bribe.
Well, that's why I'm such a boss. I bribed you because I wanted your copies.
Yes, you did. So we have, last week I did a promotion where if you shared the post, you would get extra entries. We're not doing that this week necessarily, so we're going to have basically 105 entries. There were 54 unique people. So, if you gentlemen can confirm after I hit this button, the random number generated is
67.
67. So let's go back to the magic. 67 is in fact Michael Thompson. So his one of our Facebook friends. I don't know where Michael is from exactly, but congratulations to him. He will be receiving his copies of Rock, Paper, Scissors cards, and if you want to win your own, go to our Facebook page right now. The post is there. It explains how to enter. We'll be drawing next week for that, as well as for a playset of Deadbridge Goliath.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your games like a boss.
Like a boss. Thanks again to Cliff Markham, who came up with that little thing. The little...
Catchphrase?
No, the little graphic, yeah. So, I guess I could do this and change your name to what you actually are.
You don't think I look like a good Jordan fan?
You know that we were actually breaking store rules by having 4 people in here earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so don't tell anybody.
Would the Scarlet get upset under this circumstance?
No, she doesn't count. She's the permanent resident.
Well, I just thought she might be a little uncomfortable under certain circumstances.
Well, if you've watched in the past, there's been more uncomfortable things involving Scarlet than that. Let's talk more cards. So obviously we're completing cycles, not just Shocklands, but also key runes in this set. And probably, I don't even think it's clearly the best key rune. Is Dimir Keyrune.
Yes.
Wait, of just Gatecrash or all 10?
Of all 10, I think.
You think it's better than Rakdos Key?
I think it's pretty. I think they're clearly the best 2. I think this card's just better.
It is like a Creeping Tar Pit, essentially.
Creeping Tar Pit was, in my opinion, Creeping Tar Pit was the best of the man lands.
I was partial to Lava Claw Reaches.
It's a lot narrower. It's a lot more fragile, but in the decks that the Tar Pit was good in, it was just so good.
Right.
And the blue-white one was also good, but being unblockable is pretty crucial. So Dimir Key Rune, obviously it's the Dimir colors of blue and black. 3 just like all the other Key Runes, and activated for the Dimir colors, turns the Key Rune into a 2/2 blue and black horror artifact creature. You have to say that very enunciated so you don't get accused of being impolite. Most importantly, the last phrase is unblockable this turn. So much like Creeping Tar Pit was in Zendikar Standard, this is probably going to end up being your control deck win condition, or if not win condition, at least your way that the control, more than anything. Creeping Tar Pit was used in the blue-black control decks of the Standard back when I used to play. In Zendikar. To deal with Planeswalkers. It killed Jace.
Sure.
Because it's unblockable and it's very tough to deal with. You can't deal with it at instant speed. And the decks that play Planeswalkers obviously don't usually play the bolts and the burn that would really hurt.
Interesting rules note for the Key Runes, especially for Dimir Key Rune, is that if you cipher, or encode is the word they're using, a card onto Dimir Key Rune, it will remain exiled on it. And so you can put the various Ophidian effects on the Key Rune, and even though it's no longer a creature, it retains the encodedness on it.
Yeah, they talked about that on Twitter. Matt Tabak, who's the head of rules, he confirmed that it seemed like the old Haunt mechanic. This is very similar to Haunt from the original Ravnica.
Which is weird because they said they don't like Haunt,
Haunt doesn't make a lot of sense. Like Haunt doesn't. I don't know. I don't really care for either of them.
Well, but, I'm just saying they went all over and over again, said Haunt was unintuitive, Haunt's no good, we're not bringing back Haunt, and then they brought back Haunt in another way.
Yeah,
so basically they are liars.
I think Cipher's a much more powerful mechanic, though.
That's because the Haunt cards were very good.
Yeah, the only card that was good in Haunt was the Cry of Contrition, but basically your opponent has to discard a card and you can haunt it on the creature. Haunt was very complicated. It was not very intuitive or welcoming to new players, but it is what it is. But Cipher, obviously, as Zach mentioning, is the new Dimir keyword. If you're unfamiliar with that, basically Cipher is a part of the end resolution of a card. The card will do something, and then at the end it has Cipher, and Cipher means you can encode it onto a creature, and then whenever that creature does combat damage to a player,
generally
to a player, you get to cast a copy of that spell for free. So it's basically turns every creature into an Ophidian that, rather than drawing a card, triggers that ability. So it's very interesting. We were talking with Sam earlier, there's a Cipher card that puts a 1/1 flying bat token into play, which is interesting because it puts the bat token into play, which you can then Cipher onto. I'm afraid Cipher is going to be free spells are always good. I'm not arguing with the power of the potential. I haven't seen any Cipher cards I'm necessarily thrilled with so far.
They haven't spoiled anything low cost.
We haven't really seen the whole set obviously spoiled, but it's very convoluted. I think there's going to be a ton of judge calls at like the FNM level, but it is what it is. That's one of the things. To be quite honest, this is one thing I thought about. This is very similar to Haunt. Extort is very similar to the Blood Artist ability we already saw. There's been a couple things that have been very similar to some old things. There's not an infinite amount of things that they can do in Magic. There's still a lot of things they can explore, but I'm sure it is a struggle to come up with new and innovative things every set.
Mark talks about this on his blog all the time, and they have made a conscious effort to conserve design space, so I think some of the stuff you're seeing is intentionally riffing off of other things in order to preserve time. He claims that there's enough design space in Magic so that he could die in like 30 years and they would still be able, the game would keep going. And whether some people think obviously that Mark Rosewater is destroying Magic, and some people think that he is an integral part of it. I just happen to read his blog because he tells me interesting things, but I
have no opinion of Mark Rosewater. I think it's one of those things where Magic is one of the most complicated games in the world, in the history of the world, and it's hard enough to play, let alone to design.
Yeah.
So as much as I dislike certain things, I can't go so far as to comment on that. But
for example, the reason they're bringing back a mechanic for the core set, the blood,
Blood Rush, Bloodthirst,
and then
Scry.
They've been doing that on purpose because they want to conserve design space. And also, it's gotten to the point where nostalgia kicks in. People remember Scry and people remember Bloodthirst.
You want to use your old cards. It's they've talked about that too, where that's the reason why they bring back cards like Lightning Bolt every so many cycles, and why they keep them in for a couple of cycles is because they want people to feel like the cards they have they can play with for a while, and cards that they've had in the past they can play with again. So a lot of different things going on there. Got a little bit off topic here about the Keyrune, but obviously this is a great. When Cypher was spoiled, everybody thought immediately Invisible Stalker. Invisible Stalker went up to like $3 on Star City because but I mean it's just every card that comes out, some card shoots up in price because people are idiots.
They got burned by Jace the Wallet Sculptor a couple years ago.
So, but obviously this is a great. Not only is it on theme, thematically it's in the same colors, but it's perfect card to cipher onto. It's the same kind of thing like if you activate a Blink Moth Nexus and then you steal Overseer or something like that. The counters still go on the land. It stays on the permanent. So
it's kind of like the old Gideon stuff where you could. Now Auras will fall. There's new Gideon. I can't say old Gideon. I used to not be able to say old Gideon.
I don't want to talk about old Gideon right now because
time.
Well, I think we don't have enough time for me to summarily destroy Gideon. I don't think that card is any good.
Zach Evans, the Aeon's Torn.
It's not a bad card. It's just not what I was hoping for, and I don't think it's nearly as strong as some of the cards have been in the past.
I don't think it's great, but anytime you have exile all permanents tacked on to the end of you, there's a glimmer of hope.
So let's talk about this real quickly. We'll talk about some of these later on too, but since we've got some time. Let's talk about
this is a card that is near and dear to you, don't you think?
This is a Zach Evans kind of card. If Biovisionary is a Zach Vilianco card, this is a Zach Evans card. So Skullcrack, the latest in red instance with some kind of Flames of the Firebrand, not Flames of the Fire.
Bloodhand.
Flames of the Bloodhand type effect. Skullcrack is an instant for 1 in a red that says players can't gain life this turn. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Skullcrack deals 3 damage to target player. So it's basically it's a lava spike with the effects of Flames of the Bloodhand on it for 2 mana at instant speed.
Now, Isaac, I have to ask you, because I wanted to ask Brett Rose, and he wasn't 100% sure. Is this Legacy Burn playable?
No.
No. Not even sideboard?
I don't think you ever want this card.
Okay.
In Legacy Burn, it's just all about erase. You don't lose in Legacy Burn because they gain life. Usually if they get to the point where they have a Batter Skull in play and things like that, you've already lost the game.
You know much more about that format than I do.
The cards that shut down Legacy Burn are like Leyline of Sanctity and like cards like Warmth, or Circle Protection Red. Warmth, you gain 2 life every time someone plays a red spell. It's an enchantment. Those are the things, and those are somewhat narrow, but I mean, the red deck just wants to race. It goes as fast as it can. Okay. The fact that this costs 2 mana is significantly worse.
So does Burn become a deck in Modern, then, with this card?
Burn's already kind of a deck in Modern. It's that kind of deck that always hangs around like the 3-1 range in the daily events. It's the kind of deck that if your deck isn't capable of beating the occasional Burn deck, you're always going to be up against it because there's just enough of it. It's very cheap to put together. It's very familiar to a lot of people.
So does this card go into Modern Burn?
Yes, I think because there's enough, there are Kitchen Finks abounding, there are a lot of more incidental gain life effects in that. Obviously the reason this card was printed is twofold.
Thragtusk is Sphinx's Revelation.
Thragtusk and Sphinx's Revelation. So there's a lot of grindy games that are just miserable because of gaining 9 life and drawing 9 cards off of Sphinx's Revelation. Thragtusk almost by itself has made red deck wins not a viable strategy by itself. You have to splash the black for the high end, or you have to go big. But this card could make its play. It could see play in other formats and stuff. Obviously, when I say all this stuff, I should preface with the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing. I just
don't say you play Legacy all the time. I have no clue about what's happening in Legacy. If I had to ask a question, I'd definitely ask you.
Well, the fact that I'm the area's local Legacy expert, if that's the case, doesn't speak volumes.
When you lug around like 5 extra decks,
Well, I like to play. Someone has made another picture for me. Last week they made the This Is Magic one. So someone else has made another one. They said, tell them to send it. So, because I did swear earlier tonight, which I'm not proud of, but I did. Also, very interesting thing, we'll talk about that picture that our friend Tindra, our Norwegian young lady who's made it last week, and she watches. I know she's watching now because we've had all the technical issues, but she made a pretty fun 300 movie instant meme of me last week. I posted it on our website just because I felt it was self-deprecating enough that it was fine to post pictures of myself. I'm not trying to post pictures of myself, but
this is actually a backup dating plan in case
it became the most liked photo in the history of my stream page. And then Joe Lewis tagged me in it. And now all the people who, like people I went to church with when I was a little kid, and like a coworker, now stuff like that. So it's like, I don't actually have like gamer shame, so I'm not like removing it, I don't care, but it's just, I have to go through that process of like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, it's a card game that I play.
What is this? I don't even...
It's not even a card game you play, a card game that you talk about on the internet.
Yeah, well, it's a funny thing. I sit in a supply closet in the back room of a hobby shop every Friday night and talk about imaginary wizard fights. You know, the kind of stuff that people do.
Yeah.
So we got off a little bit about that. I'll try to find the picture if I can. But just to finish up on Skullcrack here, definitely standard playable. So here we go. He says it's not as good as Tindra's, but hopefully it's good enough.
Oh, excellent.
All right, so I'll show it up there. I try not to put too much vulgarity in this, but I was in a state earlier today because of the. A man can only take so many technical difficulties before one swears an oath. So what's it called? 29 something. So I apologize in advance if you are offended by the B word. This is about to happen. So pretty good. I like it. I'm going to take that off the screen now because I'm not too proud of it. So who was that? What was the name of the individual who posted that? Monster 08. So thanks for that. I will gladly post any pictures that display me in an embarrassing or self-deprecating light. Who doesn't like a good joke every now and then? Now let's see if I can find last week's picture, which I said quickly became a fan favorite.
You should this is where you tease them and say, go to our Facebook page and you can look at it.
You can go to our Facebook page. It's right on the front in our album.
I guess all the people,
look at that. I need to see it now.
I guess all the people who are watching have probably been to the Facebook page.
Most of the people that are watching at this point are the most dedicated people that we have.
We do need to reward them. So.
They are...
Good.
Did you also notice, I know we've kind of gotten off topic here, it seems like we're in turns out there, but did you notice that I've changed my Facebook picture to actually be...
Wait, cover photo or...
There we go.
Or Facebook picture. It's brilliant.
Have you not seen that, Sam?
I have not.
It's pretty good. I have to say.
Not. I am delighted.
I'll have to say she did an excellent job there.
That's a pretty good Photoshop. She could work for
Nancy Pelosi. She is very talented at that. She also made the. Please do not bring Nancy Pelosi's name into my broadcast. But
did you see that? She photoshopped people into the picture of the women in Congress and then defended. This is hilarious. Go if you haven't been paying attention to real world news. Even the former Speaker of the House was photoshopping people into a picture. It was hilarious.
I think you're now just denigrated to me just posting every cool picture I have. This one doesn't show up for some reason when I put it in here. But it says it's the picture of him kicking the messenger in, and it says you threaten my people with trolling and spam. Because last week I had to, for the first time ever in the history of the stream, ban someone in chat because they were just spamming my chat for people to go watch another stream.
Oh.
So it is what
Poor
it is.
Poor form.
You need to give a shout out to this already super dedicated person.
He's only been watching for 5 minutes now. He's already super dedicated. Surely what he has done is click the follow button above the video window and to the left so that he can get email notification anytime our stream goes live.
We're talking about you, Mark, so click the follow button.
He's probably gone to Facebook and both liked the page and friended us. He's probably subscribed to us on YouTube as well as followed me on Twitter.
And another first time, Prismetrics. What are you talking about? You're attracting all sorts of people.
Well, they're definitely going to be attracted by this beard token.
Yes.
That's, I'm going through all the stream memes. So if you're just now tuning in for the first time, you're getting basically 20 weeks worth of fun, self-deprecating humor about myself. So that's the Zach Beards token that Sarah Taylor, Michael Taylor's wife, has made. She's awesome at it. I'm going to go ahead and delete the one that has me swearing on it because I'm not real proud of myself about that. I think I have one more.
We have a little bit of some criticisms from the peanut gallery.
What are they saying?
They're calling one of your phrases odious and platitudinous.
Which one is it?
It is what it is being denigrated right now.
I can't blame them. It's a phrase that means nothing. It's also like saying irregardless. I'm on board with
Irregardless is not a word.
I know. And then, of course, the ultimate. If this is your first time watching, you're going to say, who's this guy? Adam Vickers. Well, my friend, you got a lot to learn about this stream. Because this man, the myth, the local legend. Adam Vickers. This was the first promotional thing that Cliff Markham ever made for us.
The
Stay tuned.
eating Adam Vickers.
Stay tuned for more Wizard Battles. Vickers is going to Columbus tomorrow, too. So, or at least he was. Not here tonight. He is probably resting up. Last week he was very excited. He dropped in for some brief commentary. He had just bought a bearded dragon for himself.
And we can't mention the name of that bearded dragon.
Because it is not appropriate. But what is appropriate is that.
A little bit down to the left.
Which is a playset of Adam Vickers tokens.
Wait, there's more than one now?
Yeah.
Yep. Last week on the stream, Adam was complaining about not having any of his own tokens, and he wanted to take them with him to Star City. And Sarah Taylor was watching at the time at home, and made them up and brought them to him.
Wow.
And he had, of course, already left, so I have obtained them and will deliver them to him.
I figure you could trade for some dual lands with those tokens at Star City Columbus.
People have asked me how much I value those at. Priceless. Those are priceless. It's like a Monet or some kind of
a first edition Alpha Black Lotus in rated 9.0.
Or first edition Charizard.
I've talked about it before on the chat, but last month there was an individual down, and I think some people watching the stream might know them. Lives over in Kentucky, plays sometimes at the Huntington shop. Had won a Mox Emerald and was looking to trade it, and I tried desperately to get a hold of it, but could not make it happen. So, you're talking about first world problems when I'm complaining about not being able to trade for a Mox Emerald. The fact that I was somewhat close to doing it is probably embarrassing in and of itself. So, check my email like I do every night. A lot of emails saying that you find people are watching us or now following us on Twitch, so we appreciate that. Did we talk about Skullcrack all that we needed to?
No, we talked about a fair amount. We could talk about.
I think it's definitely going to be whether or not like a aggro deck. The Rector's aggro deck is already pretty good as it is. This would be obviously a sideboard card.
He makes Strags. That's really sad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's main deckable necessarily. It's not the worst, but that deck doesn't really win off the back of Incinerates. So we'll see.
And it turns Sphinx Revelation into a pretty mediocre Blue Sun Zenith, and we saw how much play BSZ was getting. So
it was a one of in the a very small percentage of very playable, but you only played one of them, and it was.
It is what it is, Zach. It is what it is.
I'm not going to say that because if the semantics Nazis are out or the linguistic Nazis are out on this, I appreciate that's a highbrow kind of viewership.
It's true.
If you're getting that, that's the kind of people I want to have.
You need to refine your tastes.
Our boy Rainbow Dash has got the stream on his TV, so we appreciate that. That's
that is hardcore right there.
And then stream regular Allie Browning is of course very excited about the Adam Vickers tokens. Always a fan, maybe the #1 fan of Adam Vickers on the stream is Allie Browning. Man, I wish I could talk. Can we talk a brief second here? This is not about Magic, and I apologize. We are very close to this. But this is something I actually... I know you follow me on Twitter, but do you actually use Twitter? You don't actually use it.
I mean, very, very infrequently.
So, last night I commented about this. I think the exact phrase was, so you go to... it's like I went to bed one night, and I woke up, and the only adjective that was left was dat. Everybody's like, dat something, or dat something.
Yes.
So, no offense, of course, to the gentleman or young lady in the stream who just said dat beard. But dat beard has been uttered a lot, as long as dat token, dat something.
Yeah. I'm aware of this internet
I don't know what happened, because, all of a sudden, it's just exploded into just a full-fledged dat hurricane.
Well, there's some subtle implications that probably shouldn't be discussed in a relatively family-friendly forum.
I don't know. We've already cussed, and I don't know what's going on.
Like I said, it has some racial undertones, is what I'm gonna say, without being too explicit.
Hey, listen,
Once again, that's not...
I don't think it's derogatory in any means. I think it's just a... Are you saying it might come from an urban background? Where most of the cool things that people say come from an urban background.
Yes.
That's a... It's a
I am playing, by the way.
JV Trolls. Oh, you joined
I joined in.
Are you 1-1?
I took a loss on game 1 because I wasn't here, but I am playing.
Well, best of luck to you. You're playing Troy King.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to be seeing some Jun stuff going on.
Actually, talk to him because I believe they inputted their result wrong. I think Troy won that. Didn't Troy win that last game?
But what about round 2? Remember, that was round 1.
Nick is 3-3. It's impossible. I don't know. Just double check with him when you sit down.
I will ask him.
You're at table 6.
I want